All right, so how many of you guys love seeing a movie with a lot of explosions?
Yeah! Yeah!
This guy knows what I'm talking about. Fantastic. You're going to love my new movie. It's called Supernova, The Death of a Star. Now, this star starts off kind of like any other, fusing hydrogen into heavier elements that release energy that allow the star to continue to exist. It's not just like any other star, though, in other ways. This star has to be big. When I mean big, I mean at least 8 times the size of our sun to begin with. This changes a bit of what this star actually is going to do as it gets older. So our sun, as it gets older, starts to fuse that helium in its core into carbon. And it kind of stops there. It doesn't do much else. A heavier star, though, has greater gravitational pressure acting on its core where the fusion is taking place, which means you can start to stick heavier and heavier elements together. Until, of course, you get up to iron. Iron doesn't like to fuse. In fact, it takes energy to fuse iron. So if you want to give off energy, you're not doing pretty well if you're trying to stick a bunch of irons together. So what does this actually mean? It means that in a massive star, the core becomes this big solid ball of iron that stops giving off energy. Well, this is really bad for the star. It's depending on this energy to support itself. So what happens is the inner layers of this star begin to collapse. They free fall onto this solid iron core and rebound outwards, carrying the entire mass of the star, save for just that little bit in the core, outwards with it in a gigantic explosion that releases probably about as much energy over its lifetime as the sun gives off in like 10 billion years or so. Some of the most energetic events in the universe. Now, we're kind of in contract negotiations, trying to get a bunch of stars to come into our movie. We were talking to Beetlejuice, we're talking to Antares, we're talking to Ada Carina, but the problem is we're not really sure when they're going to be available. We keep hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, looking at the sky, but we don't know exactly when any star is going to go supernova until it does. So until then, keep your eyes trained to the sky and watch out for my new movie, because I guarantee you it's going to be a blast.